Hello and happy new year. Welcome to a video that has been a year in the making, but not really because I just started formally planning it. And this is just going to be a casual chatty video where I talk about my K-pop favorites of 2021 in 7 different categories. I'm going to be using my 2021 K-pop playlist for reference, so obviously I'm only considering the songs that I know well and that I've heard. And I did my best to keep it updated throughout the year, so hopefully I didn't leave anyone out. Also, if you want a baseline for the kinds of songs I love this year, here are my top songs from my Spotify Wrapped. I'm gonna try, keyword try, to exclude these from the categories just because they're like so clearly at the top for me that I want to give everyone else a fair shot. But yeah, wanted to keep this intro short so you can get to the commentary. Hope you enjoy, and here we go. So this isn't really a category, but I always think it's fun to look back on the song that kind of like started it all for the year, because I usually wait to make my yearly K-pop playlist until a song really catches my attention, and in 2021, the first song that did that was X by Chungha, which I added to the playlist on January 19th. I just think this song is really beautiful, and I tend to not really like slowish songs, but X definitely has enough like interesting elements in it that kind of give it a lot of personality to me, which at the end is what like really makes a song good to me. My favorite part of the song is probably the pre-chorus. I just feel like it flows so well, and I also really like her "You Know You Messed Up Boy" ad-lib. I don't know, I love things like that kind of like fill in empty space. Also vocally, I mean, it's Chungha, so there's like always that going for it, and she never really fails in that realm. But yeah, all in all, beautiful and promising start to the year. Now, if you have been around me at all any point in December, I'm already smiling. If you have been around me at all any point in December, you would know just how much I love 11 by IVE. I really cannot stress enough how good this debut was and still is to me. Everything from the song itself, the choreo, the styling, just like hits every mark and checks every box for what I look for in a song. And I was going to talk about my favorite parts, but like genuinely, as cheesy as it sounds, the whole song is like perfect to me. I do remember the first time I heard it though, the verses were what stood out to me because of how like delicate and airy they seemed, and I loved how that like contrasted with the more powerful chorus. Also, just the tagline that "You make me feel like 11" is just so geniusly simple. Like, I don't know, sometimes I hear lyrics and I'm like, that is like so perfect. Whoever like conceptualized that is a genius. Like it made, like when I first heard it, it made no sense, but now like it makes perfect sense. Like it makes all the sense that it should make, and I just think this song is such a good, well-rounded way to start a group. Also, shout out to Take It, which is a B-side on this album. I love it so much too. I remember when I first realized the lyrics were "You're stupid, I'm toxic," I was so excited for no reason, just because I feel like stuff like that isn't typically put in K-pop songs. I don't know, that's just me. I just really loved it, and those two songs were and are still on constant, and I mean constant repeat. We love you, IVE. Okay, first things first, I know byeeeee isn't really categorized into K-pop, but I will be ignoring that for the purposes of this video because I really want to honor the work that she has done this year. I think the first byeeeee song I heard was byeeeee in 2019, and after a while of listening to her, I realized one major thing, and that is that she is really good at making timeless music. For example, I have a playlist of songs that I feel like will never age, and sometimes it takes like multiple listens for me to decide that a song belongs on there. But byeeeee is really good at getting added like almost immediately, and this also happened with her song Restless last year, literally one of my favorite songs of all time. Okay, but about Pado, which I think is how you pronounce it, wow, I'm so good. This song is just like so good. Like you can just tell that she has so much artistic vision, and like she knows what she's doing and she knows what she wants to do. And her songs always feel like very her without getting tiring or repetitive, which I think is a really important quality to have as an artist. And I especially enjoy the pacing, like the flow of the verses, and the more kind of like drawn out dreamy chorus. And of course the harmonies and the layering in the chorus are also very, very pretty. And this song, just like X to me, has like a lot of personality and a lot of like interest to it. Like there's a lot to hear, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, overall, I love it. Now for this category, I was kind of having a crisis because I was so stuck between Espresso by Twice or Epilogue, but I ended up going with Epilogue because of how unique it feels to me. This song is just very hauntingly beautiful. I think that's the best way that I can put it. Like, it makes me feel calm and at peace, but also like the complete opposite too. Like, when I listen to it, I get like a little bit scared and like I feel like nostalgic, which is kind of like a bittersweet feeling. And this might get a little bit cheesy, but it like kind of feels like when you're like looking back on life and like reminiscing and like realizing how much time has passed. Like, it's nice to remember, but also scary and like a little sad. So if that feeling was a song, I think it would be Epilogue. But those feelings definitely don't take away from how good of a song it is. And whoever decided to put those creepy vocals in the chorus, I love you, you're a genius. Like, it really makes the song, because it shifts from like IU's very pure and clear vocals to a moment of like, wow, what is this? And I love that juxtaposition, because it's like the song is giving you time to think and like really understand what you're feeling. But yeah, the whole Vintage Fearless song is very warm and just captivating, and this will be playing at my funeral, but then we can play Lilac, so it's not too sad.
You know that I come first. I'm the winner. 그래 마지막 순간.
Okay, so I'm obviously not a director, but I do feel like I have a lot to say about this video, which I think is a really good thing. Like, if you can get the average person just like excited to talk about your video and like want to dissect its details, I think that's a pretty good accomplishment. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is the camera work. I feel like the camera does such a good job, like emphasizing the power behind so much of the choreography. And it also feels like it's like taking you along the whole time, so you never like really lose focus, because there is a lot to see and it can get a bit overwhelming at times. Next are the special effects, from like the backup dancers disappearing and like reappearing in the smoke to like all the small flashes of sparks. There's like a bunch of sparks in this video. To me, the special effects do like such a good job of kind of enhancing the choreo. I feel like the video does such a good job just in general with like the choreo. Like, they go like very hand in hand. And like I feel like it just gives more context to some of the moves, and it does a good job at like pointing out the details, like in Eden's bow and arrow move, where like the bow and arrow shows up. Love that part. Overall, this video is just like fun to watch, very sci-fi and just cool looking. Like, that's really just the best way to put it. Especially that floating disc scene in the bridge, like that is just cool and like nice to look at. And isn't that what we needed in a music video? The answer is yes. Now, choreo of the year was another category where I was kind of having a dilemma, because I felt like I had two choices, which was to either like choose the most complex and quote unquote difficult choreo, or just the one that I enjoyed the most. And I'm sure you can tell I went with the second option. There's really nothing crazy about the stereotype dance, which I'm not saying to like belittle it, like I promise. I just think this song and the dance like fit so incredibly well. Like, I really cannot even imagine what other choreo could go with this. It's fun to do, fun to watch, and I feel like every year there's that one song that I love, but then the choreo makes it even better and makes me want to listen to it even more. And in 2021, that was definitely Stereotype. And honestly, another candidate was ASAP. I just feel like Stacey choreo is always so fun. I feel like I've said fun so many times this video, but yeah, they always have like very recognizable and like unique points to their dance, and I love that. It helps like the song feel whole and really gives it life and makes it like its own moment. And a fun fact, Stereotype was one of the songs where I looked up a tutorial, so when that happens, you know it's serious and you know that I love it. Now, this release night was truly one to remember. To be completely honest, after listening to Queendom the song, I wasn't like completely sold. Like, I love the song, especially after such a long group hiatus, but it wasn't really anything that like completely shocked me or blew me away. However, when I listened to those B-sides, everything really changed. Now, my favorites on initial listen were Knock on Wood, Better Be, Pushin' and Pullin', and Hello Sunset, and that's already 4/6 of the album, keep that in mind. And like I said, both Queendom and Pose, I really liked, but I kind of needed like more time with, but the four I mentioned were instant classics to me. And I literally, kind of embarrassing, but I vividly remember almost crying to Hello Sunset just because of like how excited I was about how much I loved every single song. Like, all the emotions were like getting to me. Like, when the chorus hit and everyone came in with their harmonies, I literally had to like pause and lie on the floor for a second just to like catch my breath. Like, I would truly do anything to experience that happiness again. I got goosebumps just like thinking about it. But yeah, I also did so much jumping around that night. Like, it was 4 a.m, but like the music was really possessing me and I was actually going crazy in my room. But yes, this is a solid body of work, and it it really exceeded my expectations. So yeah, cute title track, gorgeous B-sides that I feel like will never age, project of the year. And there we go. Those were my favorites of 2021. Overall, it was another great year in K-pop. It was definitely hard to narrow this video down to 7 songs from the 194 that are on my playlist, but I did it. Also, 194 is the longest annual K-pop playlist I have so far, which I think is really fun because it means music is getting even better, and then I'm listening to more groups, so that's always good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed and got the chance to reflect on your favorites of the year. Feel free to comment and let me know what you did and maybe didn't enjoy this year. K-pop is one of my favorite conversation topics ever, so I'll definitely enjoy it. But yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.